Champaign County continues to see a spike in gun violence cases this year. The Champaign County State's Attorney says that many of these incidents are connected. Fox Illinois' Evan Hensley has the story.
And both Champaign and Urbana have already surpassed last year's total for shooting-related incidents. The city of Champaign has already seen more than 115 incidents this year. State's Attorney Julia Reitz told me that these feuds and disputes need to be solved rationally. Champaign police are investigating another shots fired call in the city on Tuesday. Champaign County State's Attorney Julia Reitz says the gun violence problem is putting the entire community at risk.
These events are occurring in broad daylight in residential areas, putting people who are completely uninvolved at risk as well.
Reitz says the problem they continue to see involves local young people between the ages of 15 and 30 using guns to solve their problems, and many of the shootings have been seen as retaliation.
From personal disagreements and people taking sides about shootings that happened in the past, and so it just snowballs.
And many of them are repeat offenders.
Can you tell us about any of these big name repeat offenders that you've seen?
I would just say that we are aware of who is involved. They are not strangers. They're from this community.
Reitz says that the spike in gun violence doesn't revolve around gangs or drugs. The violence is spreading to different communities when people try to retaliate.
Maybe it's based on a familial relationship or a neighborhood or something like that. But it's not gangs in the classic sense of a structured organization. Before they either end up in a coffin or in prison. Neither one of those results are what any of us want for them or for our community.
And Reitz says there is no easy solution for this gun violence crisis, just that these feuds and disagreements need to be discussed in a more rational way before even more people get hurt. Reporting in studio, I'm Evan Hensley. Back to you.
According to the Champaign County State's Attorney, Fonville was let out of jail back in March on his own recognizance for an aggravated battery charge. Fonville's case is just one of many that presents unique challenges when it comes to convictions for gun crimes. Fox Illinois' Evan Hensley has the story. Evan?
And State's Attorney Julia Reitz says it wasn't anything out of the normal for Fonville to wait his trial date outside of jail. She did say that nobody could have predicted just a few months later he'd be charged with murder.
Unfortunately, we don't have a crystal ball. We don't have any control over what somebody does or doesn't do after they're released.
Champaign County State's Attorney Julia Reitz says that Travoy Fonville being released from jail while awaiting trial is normal.
It was not unusual for Travoy Fonville to have been released at that time. We were very concerned about the number of people that we had in our jail.
The Illinois Department of Corrections stopped prison transfers back in March. This made housing more difficult. Another issue the state's attorney office says it's run into more recently involves gun violence convictions. Reitz says many witnesses who give statements to police have come to change their stories at the trial.
At the beginning and when we got to trial, all of the witnesses and everybody involved suddenly had memory loss.
The state's attorney says in many of these cases, witnesses' testimonies is all the evidence they have.
So it's difficult for a prosecution if we don't have physical evidence, if we don't have video, and then the witnesses are not cooperative. At the end of the day, we are not able to prove our case beyond a reasonable doubt.
And that the gun violence problem has to be solved by everyone involved.
It's not going to just come from this building. It's not going to just come from the criminal justice system. It has to come from the families, from the community, from law enforcement, from all of us working together to try to get to the root of this problem.
And Reitz says many of the trials they've seen over the course of 2020 have been repeat offenders. She did say a lot of these challenges they've seen and continue to see in the courthouse will continue to cause more challenges when it comes to getting criminals off the street. Reporting live in Urbana, I'm Evan Hensley. Back to you.